Hello, Oracles! Oracle Tim here from Oracle Investments. If you have not seen it, there's an amazing interview with Elon Musk by Lex Fridman. It's about 2.5 hours long. I have the entire interview in the description down below if you want to check it out. I highly recommend it. Totally worth the 2.5 hours of your time. So today I am going to go over the highlights and takeaways that I got from this interview and share my thoughts and insights on those. And now we regularly talk about Tesla stock and the price action, where it's going in the future. Well, the most important thing about any company and any stock is its fundamentals. The fundamentals of a company have to do with what's their mission, what is their plan to accomplish that mission, and who is leading them along the way. And so he went over a lot of that, and pretty much you guys know it. Any interview you see with Elon, he explains that. And every single time I see him get interviewed, I just want to invest more into Tesla. So in the interview, one of the first things they discussed was SpaceX. Obviously, we know SpaceX is its own entity, not directly part of Tesla, but it's Elon Musk, and it's still his leadership that takes place in there, and that crosses over into Tesla. So for me, I like to watch them both because he leads them both the same way, and they're going to cross over and help each other out in the future anyway. So one of the things that they discussed that I loved the interest in was, how long is it going to take until we put a person on Mars? Elon says best case scenario is 5 years, worst case scenario is 10 years. Now, one of my goals is I would love to be able to step foot on another rock outside of this planet. That would be amazing, whether it's the moon, whether it's Mars. And if Elon is saying we're going to be able to put a human on Mars in the next 10 years, that gives me hope that I definitely have an opportunity to step foot on either the moon or Mars before I die. Gotta tell you though, it would be amazingly awesome if somehow we managed to get civilization started on Mars and I could have dual citizenship between Earth and Mars, and I could be both a citizen, a Terran and a Martian. That would be awesome. Now, Elon did say that realistically, not sure what form of monetary system they would use on Mars, cryptocurrency makes the most sense. But because it is so far away from Earth, whatever cryptocurrencies we have here would not translate and work well there. They would have to create their own system. He also denied being Satoshi Nakamoto. So that takes that off the plate, so we know that Elon did not create Bitcoin. Now, one of the things that really compelled me about Elon in this is when Lex asked him, when things get difficult, when they're at the places where they are right now in SpaceX with Starship and, really struggling and trying to figure this out, where do he and his engineers go to look for strength to get there? And Elon didn't have an answer, because Elon's like, solving the problem is just what needs to happen. It's not even a question. It's not like he's like searching for a higher answer. He's just like, no, it's just, there is no thing other than solving the problem. Problem's there, I gotta fix it. That's it. That is his strength. His driving motivation is to just solve the problem. And that is why his companies are the best run and most efficiently run in the world. And then they started talking about FSD. And Elon explained how FSD is going to integrate neural net into it, taking out the C and C++ coding and taking all those stacks out, making it a single stack. They're also going to have audio play into it, which obviously makes total sense, when it comes to ambulances and different sirens and all sorts of things that you would need to hear to make the whole entire system basically superhuman. And you're going to have a superhuman system out there. Humans have vision, that's what we use. But humans can't see in every direction all at once. We just can't do it, our eyes don't work that way, and we can't process that. But FSD can. FSD is going to be able to see better than humans can. FSD is going to have memory that is permanent that humans don't have. Humans, one of the toughest things we have is our memory. So FSD is going to be basically a superhuman version of a driver, and that is why it is going to be better than human driving in the future. And he did say that they are looking to solve FSD by the end of 2022. Now, in listening to the discussion, it sounded like this interview was from a while ago, because it sounded like at the time 10.6 was the current version that was out, and they were looking to release 10.7. So this has to be from at least a month ago. And so, even then, Elon figured that by the end of 22, they're going to have this solved. And the hardest thing that they're going to have to face is proving to the regulators that FSD is safer than human driving. And his goal is to get FSD to be 2 to 3 times safer than human driving, and then he can try to convince and explain how that it is safer to regulators to get this out on the roads. And that single stacking of all of the programs within FSD, that's what 11.0 is going to be. And I know we've talked about that, and we're hoping maybe we can hear about the release date of that on the Q4 earnings call for the roadmap. That would be nice, because he said that's a huge fundamental step forward for FSD. And that's not going to be the be-all, end-all and solve everything, but that's the next step they need to take to be able to get to that next point. Then they started talking about Tesla bots, and Tesla bots would use the same basic engineering technology of FSD, which makes total sense. But one of the things that really compelled me about Tesla bots when he first announced it was the fact that when this comes out, it's going to revolutionize labor. That's huge. We could have hundreds of millions of Tesla bots out there, and as Elon explained in the interview, they can do pretty much anything. That's crazy. And for me, when I think about it, I work in construction retail, and I think about all the guys who come in. These guys basically work until they're dead. The amount of injuries they get from working on the job as they do, having to use the machines that we rent to them. If you had a Tesla bot on site, I'm thinking like Iron Man, and you have all these different robots that he has that can do all different things, having Tesla bots on a job site could really help the safety, getting things produced better and faster. You can get buildings built safer. So many unbelievable possibilities for the Tesla bot in the future. That's why I think when we hit 2030 to 2032, we could potentially see the beginning of another S-curve in the stock, because that Tesla bot is not only going to revolutionize technology, it's going to revolutionize civilization. And he even discusses how, the Tesla bot can end up becoming your buddy. I'm an introvert, I've been an introvert my whole life. I like it quiet, but dang, man, if I had a cool robot buddy, like, I could talk to like Jarvis. He even talks about it being like C-3PO or R2-D2. If I could have a buddy like that, it's like having a dog, but it's a robot. I mean, I'd totally have both. I want a dog, I'll take a robot. It would be awesome, and there's so many different functionalities you can have for this in the future. I can really see this taking off and being absolutely amazing for so many different reasons. Then they start talking about history a little bit, and he talks about, looking back in history and who won different wars and things like that, and it really came down to engineering wars. Who had the best engineering? Who had the fastest pace of engineering? Who had the best access to raw materials? Well, when it comes to the EV engineering wars, who do you think wins that one right now? And speaking of engineering wars, he did say he was open to having discussions with Putin. And he did say that, it would be great to have friendly competition between Russia, US, and China over these EVs, because friendly competition is good. It is good for everyone because it drives each other to become better and become better for humanity. Elon also did say that he would be willing to try stand-up comedy. Let me know in the comments if any of you would go and watch Elon do stand-up comedy. Personally, I think he is a pretty funny guy. He's got my kind of sense of humor. So I would love to see that myself. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see that. And now when it comes down to the leadership of the company and the character of the man who leads, who is he? So when he gives advice, and his advice is, be good to your fellow humans, be useful to humanity. Ask yourself, are you contributing more than you're consuming? That's very important to him. And honestly, we all know he is contributing a lot to humanity, probably more than anyone else right now. And that's what I ask myself, is, am I giving more than I am taking? And that's really what it comes down to, and that's what he wants. And when I hear that from a leader like that, who leads not only with his words, but with his actions, and that tells me who he is as a person and why he is leading the best company in the world. And advice he gives to, kids going through high school or early in college, ingest as much information as you can. Get a good lay of the land, a general lay of the land, and understanding of many things to be able to see what it is that you want to excel at, what you're good at, and what you want to be able to help humanity with in the future. And this is something I want to teach my son as well. He's, trying a bunch of different things, and that's what we encourage with him is get out there, see everything you possibly can see, learn everything you can possibly learn, and see what intrigues you, and see what you really want to put all of your effort into. And so in the end, he says, foundationally, he loves humanity. That's what it comes down to. That's what he loves, and that's why he drives himself forward, because he loves humanity and he wants to see humanity be better in the future. And he said, he's read some of the darkest things about human history, and he still loves humanity. And it hit me, it was kind of like the opposite of Ultron, where Ultron saw how bad humanity was to each other and wanted to destroy humanity. Elon's more like Vision. Elon saw humanity but saw the potential in them and saw the good in humanity and wants to drive that forward. And now, huge spoiler alert, Elon did say he will not live forever. I know. Personally, I think by the time he dies, there may be that technology out there to be able to actually take his consciousness and put it into something. Maybe he'll be like the dojo. They'll take his mind and he will be running dojo. Who knows? Anything can happen in the future. Elon is a smart guy working with the best engineers in the world, so we'll see what happens then, but he did say he won't live forever. Obviously, that is true for all of us. So let me know in the comments below if you guys have had a chance to watch the interview yourself. Let me know what takeaways you guys had from this. Like I said, every time I hear Elon talk, it just makes me want to invest more in the company. The things he does and how genuine he is as a human being and what he does to drive everything forward, it's like, why would I not want to be invested in it? And I do talk about diversification in my portfolio, and I do like that. But man, there is no better place I want to put my money, because he is doing so much in so many different ways that are going to change the world going forward. It's hard to put my money elsewhere. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am on Twitter, OracleTim1. I post everything that I can up to date there because it's a lot faster than here on YouTube. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the morning. I will see if there's any Form 4 filings to see if today was the day that Elon finished his sales off, so I can share that with you later. Otherwise, have yourself a great one, and I will see you later.